So it's been well over 6 years since this video came out. Maybe you remember it. This is the Jay's 2 Cents Terry Crews build featuring Austin Evans. Whether you're a fan of Terry Crews or not, this was a really sick build done by Jay.
I'm expecting a beast.
And it was completely tailored to his company, Old Spice, and done very unique and probably one of my favorite times in PC building in the recent years. Not only did Jay go all out on the system, he picked an extremely rare case from Inwin, which they only produced 500 of, and they were called the Inwin Tau 2.0. Since this video came out, I became absolutely obsessed with trying to find this case, but the only problem is that the MSRP retail was $2,000.
Specifically for this case, and it has 1065 watts.
We know the pricing for this particular case?
It should be around the 2,000 mark.
Really?
The premium case comes with a premium price, basically.
Okay. All right. As far as do you all have any cheaper cases, or is this the most expensive one that you all have?
I thought that clip was pretty funny, and I probably would have had the exact same reaction. To be honest, the most I've ever spent on a PC case was $200, and that was the launch of the original Phanteks Evolve Tempered Glass Edition, which I had ordered on launch day because I was so excited about the terrible airflow and the ridiculous glass all over it. Looks like I haven't changed too much. A few months before the pandemic had started, I met an individual named Vu, who not only ended up becoming a best friend, but we hunted and sold PCs together during the shortage. One day he sent me a listing on OfferUp of a poorly listed PC from some college kids who claimed their Nigerian prince roommate had left in a hurry and told them to use this PC for the first and last on the apartment. I wonder if he knew something was coming. The PC was in a pretty half-built state with soft tubing and hardline. It was dirty, it was really in need of some work. After talking them down, we walked out of the building with this entire PC at $1,300 US. When my friend asked what I wanted from it, I told him the case, and I would clean everything up and help him sell the rest, which he did end up making a pretty decent profit. If you were to guess what I paid for this case, take a guess right now if you want. That's right, $200 again, and I was pretty happy about that, and my friend really just didn't care, until he found out how valuable the case was. But surprisingly, he was like a really good sport about it and was like, hey man, if you're gonna keep the case, I really don't care, but it definitely needs a paint job, and white cases were just becoming more popular at that time, so I figured, why not, let's do it a custom white color. And that's when my girlfriend's brother comes in. Shout out to Ramiro for not only helping me paint this case, but teaching me in depth on how to do it correctly. Not only was it the first month of the pandemic, so people were like freaking out, but we also kind of borrowed a garage that really wasn't ours to borrow, and maybe some of the paint that was also from a customer's car, and who knows, I don't know. So this is how it turned out, and I was pretty happy with it for a while, but there's one major problem with this case. As nice as it is, it just cannot hold modern hardware. The older hardware back a couple years ago was a lot lower TDP when it would come to power draw. It was just way easier to cool. And with these new specs like the RTX 4090 and the 13900K, this PC was just running way too hot for my liking. I decided the only way I can possibly fix the temperature issues is by removing that front piece of glass. And to do that, you actually have to take apart the entire computer, which is fine because this computer needed a radiator flush and some other work done to it. So I'm doing that now, and we're gonna take this piece of plexiglass and double stack it and use a laser machine to laser out some vents and then install it back on the front of the case. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you how the front panel came out and kind of just discuss what I want to do with this computer. This is my personal rig, I do use it every day, so I don't want too much downtime, but as it's sitting right now, it's basically on this little test bench platform, which I forget the brand of this test bench, but it's the one everyone uses now. And then, so here is the front panel, which I think it looks pretty good. The white isn't perfect, but you're really not gonna see it in the conditions I have it lighting wise. We have the same fans. I thought about changing the fans too, and a lot of people really dislike this era of Corsair, which I can't blame them. The cables were ridiculous, and these fans kind of have a lot of hot spots. I actually thought the LL fans looked a little bit better than the QL, but they were expensive and I bought them, so I'm gonna use them until they start malfunctioning. And yeah, so we got the front panel, and I moved the fans from, I originally had them on this side so that you would see all the lighting, and I just think it's just overkill. So now I have the radiator on this side, which is an EK radiator. This is the Slim 360, and you can see the lighting on the side. And also the other thing I wanted to do was stop using the back fan layout. So I had these two fans here to pull air out, simply because the front of the case had such bad airflow that it was like almost all exhaust, and it's not a good practice. I don't tell people to do that. I don't build PCs like that. It's just something I had to do with this case to make it work with all those components in it, and I was still getting pretty ridiculous temperatures. The idea is to throw this back together. I might do like 1 or 2 different bends. I have a few double 90s here. These go to the CPU and the distro, but maybe I'll do one other fancy bend or something just to make this look a little bit more complete. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So let's start doing that now. So I really wish I did this mod a lot sooner. This is my editing setup, by the way, if you haven't seen it before, and this is where the PC typically sits. Normally I would have those fans on the rear pointing out of this window, exhausting everything, and I used to sit around 55C in applications like DaVinci, which is open right now, and I'm currently sitting at 34C. And that's a pretty good drop. I mean, we're talking, we have all this stuff open, and we're not actually, we're not hitting it with a load right now, but it's keeping itself down, the temperatures are down, and then under full load running Cinebench, I was seeing max temperatures of around 77 to about 85, depending on if I left it on for a very long period of time, and if the window was closed or open. Keep in mind too, I was also running an undervolt before to control those temperatures, and right now I'm back to stock settings since I took it apart and reset the BIOS along with an update. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. This is kind of a rebuild, just fun video. When I first started it, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I really want to kind of pay tribute to the OGs and Jay's 2 Cents, Gamers Nexus, all those classic PC building YouTube channels that brought me to this point to like enjoy this stuff and want to do it. And also, of course, you guys. So thank you guys so much for subbing to the channel. I know that this video isn't like the typical video that I do, but I just wanted to thank everybody. And yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw here, drop a like, maybe subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.